Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1993's Judgment Night. Before we get started, if you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Kiss the Reviews. And as always, if you want to join us on Patreon, become part of the Patreon crew, it's only a couple of bucks, barrier of entry to get in. We have a couple of different tiers. We have merch giveaways. We have exclusive merch, stickers, mini prints, mugs, all kinds of stuff. And for our tier 3 subscribers, we have movie watches that we do monthly, and we give away some free stuff as well. So during those movie watches, we'll give away free stuff, and then we also have just a rewards program where you get some free KTR merch for joining. So that's it. Can't ask for anything more.
No, it's a good time. Some of our Patreoners have actually sent pictures out on Twitter and whatnot because some of the merchandise is coming in. Sweatshirts, I think, is what one guy got so far.
Yeah. Damien ordered that from our shop, which is below.
Oh, did he? Gross, yep. Damien, you suck. Because he knows he's on thin ice. He's sucking up. He knows he's on thin ice with this request shit. But yeah, during the movie watch, Armando said we have giveaways during that. Literally just while you're watching the movie, we might throw out a fucking fun game and see who gets the right answer first. We might just say everybody wins because it's party time and fun. And we give shit away like the Elm Street mask over this shoulder and the Jason mask above my head. And other fun stuff, movie posters and horror movie masks and fucking Funko Pops. And we got so much shit for giveaways. It is awesome. So literally you get stuff just by joining Patreon. And again, most of the money we make from Patreon goes right back to you guys in merchandise and fun fucking masks and blah, blah, blah. I'm out of speech.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's get into the cast of 1993's Judgment Night. This film stars Emilio Estevez as Frank Wyatt.
Emilio!
Cuba Gooding Jr. as Mike Peterson. Denis Leary as Fallon. Jeremy Piven as Ray Cochran. And Stephen Dorff as John Wyatt. With an honorable mention to Peter Greene as Sykes. And Erik Schrody as Rhodes. Who's Erik Schrody, you may ask? That would be Everlast's real name. And when I looked it up, I totally forgot that he was in this movie. And I was like, oh shit, that looks like Everlast. Everlast's in this movie. When I was going through the thing, I'm like, Everlast's name isn't like I thought they were going to put Everlast in the fucking thing. And I got to his name and I'm like, who the fuck is that? When I looked it up, Erik Schrody.
That's Schrody, bro. What up, Schrody? What's up, Schrody?
I didn't know that was him. So there you go. You learned something new.
Pre-heart attack, post House of Pain, I believe.
That's right.
Everlast. Before he started playing acoustic guitar and being so full about bums on the street or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Start crying to me about the homeless. I just tune right the fuck out.
You got some explaining to do.
The cast is fantastic. And really, like, if you put this cast on paper, you're like, okay, even if Emilio Estevez is the lead, you're still like, all right, let's fucking rock and roll.
I'm sure we'll talk about the writing. I don't think that the problem was with the cast.
No, it was a cliche. This whole movie's a giant fucking cliche that drags on for fucking 30 minutes too long.
Far too long. But before we drag on far too long, let's get into it. So the movie opens with 3 friends.
That was a dope segue.
I know, you like that?
That was slick.
So the movie opens with 3 friends, including Frank and Frank's brother John, getting ready to go to this boxing match. And Frank is getting into a tiff with his wife over having single friends that don't have families. And from this interaction alone in the first 5 seconds of the movie, this movie should have been called Judgment Wife. Okay. This was fucking Like I'm watching this and I was like, oh, I could just add this to another bucket list thing that me and my wife don't do. Like
No.
this argument is ridiculous.
Don't start accusing me of running around because you
You're
know
the
that.
only one of your friends who has a family. I just think it's time you start hanging out with grown-ups.
And then the friends show up, this fake ass bitch. The friends show up and they're like, hey, let me dump these guys in the van and I'll be right on top of you. And she's like, oh, you promise? Don't do that. You were just shitting on them.
Yep.
Be a cold bitch to them like you are your fucking husband who, you love and is the father of your fucking child. You heartless monster. Jesus Christ.
So this movie finally kicks off. They're in this like RV that Ray got from like, because he's a cool sales guy, whatever. So they get stuck in traffic. And Ray starts to like weave into traffic with this newly acquired RV. John immediately gets into a fight with another driver. And they get off the expressway to get a shortcut. And they find themselves in like this bad area of town.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to a bunch of bad areas of town. I used to live in a really bad area of town. There's people, like, just FYI, even when it gets like dusk outside, there's still people outside in a bad area. It's not deserted. Like, this looks like the Wild West with like a tumbleweed going across the screen. There's still people outside, FYI.
Yeah, and this is pre like opioid problems in America too. So this
Yes.
wasn't like there should be crackheads running around right now. There should be people washing your windshield. There should be some people out on the street listening to a boombox or singing doo-wop over a fire. Like, there are multiple scenarios that should be occurring right now. And instead, this is a fucking ghost town.
Yes. They're not in Philly. There's no dumpster fires going on.
Dude, they even show the fucking L. They show the fucking line for the train tracks right above their head through 90% of this fucking film when they're running. And none of them think to get on the subway because it's not running.
No, there's never an actual moving train going on. But
that's insane.
As they're driving, they hit something. And so they stop. 3 of them get out. They see that they actually hit somebody. They bring him into the RV. They realize that he's been shot. And Frank then gets behind the wheel, tries to catch up to a passing cop car. And out of nowhere, they get slammed into by another car. And they're then like stuck in this like narrow alley. 3 dudes crash through the back window. They take Teddy, the guy who's shot. Fallon gets out, shoots Teddy in the middle of the street because, there's literally nobody out there to witness. The friends see this. They smash out the front window. They set the RV on fire and they go running. And Fallon and his like gang of, misfit thugs go chasing after him. And this is what I found interesting. And this is what I found interesting. And I don't know if this is the point you're going to make. I always hate in movies where like you're running away from somebody and like you make a right and then a left and then a right. And then it's 10 minutes later and they know exactly where the fuck you ran. This happens the whole fucking movie.
Oh yeah. These guys are fucking bloodhounds. And that was not the point I was going to make at all. The point I was going to make is I hate this fucking little brother and Cuba Gooding Jr. who were like, oh, I'm a hothead and I get into a fight on the interstate and I showed the big tough guy who was boss. And then, we all get back into the van and then we get in this situation. We got to help this guy. We got to help him. And we care about this stranger so much. And then it was like he gets snatched out of the, we got to do something. No, you got to fucking run, Mora. You should have been gone before he was even pulled out of that fucking van. Call 911, lock your fucking doors. If you have to bring them inside, that's fine. But when he goes, you guys got to get out of here. They're going to fucking find us. Dump him back on the fucking street and be like, the cops are on their way.
Dude,
and get the fuck out of there as fast as you
shot.
possibly can.
This movie is 15 minutes long if I'm in it. Because when they... Not for nothing. I know Jeremy Piven plays like, the asshole wheeler dealer kind of guy. He basically plays like a 30-year-old Baron Trump in this movie. But I'm with him in this. They hit the guy.
Him in this.
Like
I thought that the whole time.
I mean, I'm like, oh, maybe it could have been a guy. It could have been a dog. Yeah, it could have been dogs. It could have been cats. Let's get the fuck out of here. Like, that's where I'm going. Guys, fucking drive. I'm driving. If you three want to get out and check to see what's going on and the whole situation, that's where the movie ends for me. I'm like, I don't know if you realize this, but I literally said I got to take this RV back to the sales guy the next day.
Right.
I'm out. I'm not. This isn't Scooby-Doo, motherfucker. We're getting the hell out of here. So if you don't leave there and you bring the guy back in, the minute I realize he's shot, I'm like, dump him. He was shot. We didn't hit him. That bitch is shot. Dump him. Movie's over there. And if it's not, when you get stuck, now I'm out. Now I'm out and I'm not coming back. I'm not hiding. I'm not stopping. I'm not talking. I'm certainly not if Denis Leary's out here with a gun to this dude's head. I'm not like in slow motion, like, no, they're shooting him. What are we doing?
Yeah, when they're doing that slow-mo scene where they shoot everybody's face, it would pan to me, and there'd be just a blank spot because I'd already be fucking gone.
I'll say this. Jeremy Piven's face is my favorite because everybody's like, no, it pans to him. It just cuts to him. And you just see him go, he knows they're fucked.
Yep.
His eyes close and his head drops because he knows they're fucked.
Yep.
That's my reaction. Regardless, we're moving on. But so Fallon then like chases, him and his merry men chase the friends into this like rail yard. Mm-hmm. They lock themselves in a boxcar and they get jacked by a bunch of homeless dudes. And Frank here, as they're like, here, give him your money, give him your money. Fine, give him your money. So they shut the fuck up and we can get away. Frank gives his whole, who gives your whole wallet with your ID, your credit cards, your insurance papers, like all of that shit? No, you take out the cash and give them the cash. I'd even take out the credit cards and give them the credit cards too. Keep your wallet with your information. And again, a plot device so that Fallon can chase them the rest of this movie going, Francis at 109 East Cherry Street for the whole movie.
Francis? Howard? Wyatt!
One, I'm not giving my ID to a homeless man who now knows where I live with a picture of my wife. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? I understand your situation is a little bit tense, but also you live in fucking Chicago. Yes. Grow up. This cannot be the first dead body you fucking encountered, let alone the first guy you've seen shot point blank. Grow up. Hand him the cash. Hand him your credit card if you have to. But you're not handing over your fucking wallet. And I don't know a single man that's handing over a picture of their wife like, hey, buddy, jerk off to this for a couple days. Not happening.
Yeah, Dirty Frank and the boys. They're not getting my ID. Sorry. Fallon hears like the homeless dudes making noise. He opens the car. Everybody scatters. He shoots one with Cuba Gooding Jr.'s jacket on, but it's the homeless dude. This is where he gets Frank's wallet and ID. And the friends get away and run to this apartment building with lights on. And they go into the building. They ask for help. They can't get help from anybody. There are these two chicks who finally let them in. And of course, Fallon and his boys know exactly where they went because they're bloodhounds. And Fallon starts calling Frank out by name here.
Tell me you're a white guy in a movie without telling me you're a white guy in a movie. You're in the projects and you go, look, lights are on in that building. Let's go there and get help.
Dude, by the way, let's go into that building and get help where Onyx is playing full blast. You're not going in there.
No, Denis
Sorry.
Leary is the worst of my problems right now.
Absolutely.
And that has nothing to do with race. It is all based around the fact that we're all in the same socioeconomic environment. There are probably more Denis Learys in that building than there are on this street. So I'm going to stay on the street and find a good hiding spot. Like we talked about hide and go seek a while ago.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to be the best hide and go seek player you've ever seen in your life, bitch.
Absolutely. I'll be
And I'm
champ.
staying there all night long.
Yes, you sleep there.
Yes.
That's just what happens.
I'm not playing fucking Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego all throughout fucking Chicago. That ain't happening.
Did you say Carmen Sandiego?
That's how we pronounce it in my country club.
Okay, cool. Listen, I already prefaced this with I've lived in neighborhoods like that. Like I've lived in bad neighborhoods.
Yeah, we get it. Life. You were poor once.
Okay.
It's disgusting, and it makes you hear me gagging? It's because I knew you were going to tell me you were poor once.
You don't fuck with those people. I'm sorry. If you came to my door in that neighborhood, you're getting shot. Not like these people are actually opening the door. That's how you know white people wrote this film. Like the rich whites wrote this film because they were like, oh yeah, they open the door, but they won't let them in. I'm like, that's not how that works.
But every now and again, they let us know that they understand what it means to be poor and in the projects because Ray will be like, I can't believe nobody's helping. Well, I think Ray actually uses these people.
What's wrong with these people? Just like you, Ray. How is that? They're scary.
And they're like, yeah, it's not so great when it's on the other foot, is it, Ray?
Yeah.
Now's the time when you're going to fucking bitch at me? Now? When we're desperately trying to find a fucking house to get into because the devil is coming after us right now?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Emilio Estevez.
Save your preaching until we've completed our journey. How about that?
I'm pretty sure in this scene, when Ray's like, oh, these people won't even let us in. I'm pretty sure Emilio... It got cut out. It's left on the cutting room floor. But Emilio was like, dude, my dad had to change his name just so we can get an acting job. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? But these chicks that let him in tell them about like, hey, go escape to the roof. There's a ladder and the kids like jump between buildings here with this thing on the roof. So they get up, they get away, and they're trying to cross to the other building. Denis Leary's crew comes out. 3 get across. Ray decides, because he's like businessman, sales guy extraordinaire, he's going to negotiate.
This is what I meant by you. The obnoxious shit Ray does throughout this and kind of being a coward with a lot of his actions, that's not you. This is you. Me. Because Ray's not necessarily afraid anymore. Yeah. He's just fucking done. He's done. He's over it. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure they don't come after you, which is a dope move for your boys. Yeah. Like, they're not going to... I'm probably going to die. I understand that as Ray. Yeah. But what I'm going to do is make sure they're not crawling across this ladder to come and get you right now. But because my name is Armando, I'm going to turn around and negotiate. And this was a you negotiation. Hey, fellas, give me 5 minutes to talk to you. Like, oh, Jesus Christ. I've heard you pitch this to me.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Give me 5 minutes. I got a great idea for the show. I think you're going to love it. I'm like, oh, fuck me.
As soon as I say it, you know it's bad. You know it's really bad. And this does not go well for Ray, because Ray gets dumped off the rooftop here in a hot second. I love Denis Leary. This is my favorite scene that Denis Leary is in this movie, because Denis Leary does a great job in this.
Yes, he does.
He lets Ray talk, and he lets him talk. And he's like, oh, yeah, really? Yeah. And he was like, I don't give a fuck. You're not from here. You don't know who I am. You don't know the street. You're not from the streets, or whatever the hell he says here. And he's so convincing as like this scumbag, like underboss kind of deal.
You know who we are? No, you have no fucking idea, do you? No, chicks like you just sail through life reading about people like me in the newspaper.
And then he lets him go again. He's like, oh, $200,000? You're going to give me $200,000? And then he just pushes him off the roof. It's so good.
This is good for multiple reasons. One, so far, Denis Leary, he's had a couple funny like lines and stuff, like the fucking suburbs. Are you kidding me? Fucking blah blah blah, whatever the fuck he says. So he has a couple funny lines, but there's nothing intimidating about him yet, other than the fact that he's the leader of this gang.
Yeah.
And can we mention he's the white leader of an only white gang freely operating on the streets of the south side of Chicago, which means he is fucking terrifying.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, he's done some heinous shit to get to this point in his life. But there's none of this we haven't seen yet on film. And so when he gets to this point, he's got that psychotic part coming out where he is, he's smart, he's charming, he's funny, but it's almost like the Joker where he's fucking just psychotic.
Yep.
And he's playing with Ray and he's letting Ray believe he's good to go, and Ray thumbs up to his guys. Maybe there's a chance the guys come out thinking everything's okay. And then, he's telling Ray, going on that rant where you don't fucking know me. You're not from my fucking world. This is my world. You're nothing here. And Ray has the balls to go 200,000. And stay with that locked eye for him for a second. You can see kind of Denis Leary. He's like, the fucking balls on this guy. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm done.
Yep.
It's such a good scene. And Jeremy Piven's scream as he's dying is amazing. The only problem I have really so far, other than the cliches, which you're going to find those in a lot of these kind of movies for sure.
Yeah.
It's also in movies like The Suicide Kings, which is a great fucking movie. But it's full of these little cheeky writing fucking... bleh.
Yeah.
My problem is the younger brother, played by Stephen Dorff, who is like, I'm a tough guy, hothead. I show up in my fingerless gloves and my flannel and vest. You don't know me. I'm fucking
didn't like
dangerous and beer. And then every time something happens, he's like,
I'm scared.
Frankie, I'm scared. Why can you hold little Johnny boy? Because I'm scared now because the monsters are chasing us. Bitch, grow the fuck up. You're wearing fingerless gloves, dog. Grow the fuck up.
Hell yes.
And after this is where John freezes, right? This is where Stephen Dorff freezes. Because the chase continues into the sewer, and the three decide to make a stand. So instead of trying to escape, they hide and attack Sykes, who comes in. Mike grabs his gun and kills him. And basically with Emilio's help, with Frank's help, and Stephen Dorff just is like, oh, I'm so scared, I'm not doing anything. But John and Frank decide to bounce. Mike begrudgingly goes with them. And then Fallon, this is where Fallon kills one of his own goons for complaining. And now it's just him and Everlast that are left.
And I'm going to say this real quick, because this has just been my experience in life.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, fellas out there. If you've been in a couple bar fights, right? And then you're in a real situation, you're like, I always wondered how I'd do in combat.
I always wondered how I'd do in combat.
Poorly. You will do poorly. Because you are not mentally equipped for this. You still think it's a fucking macho tough guy match. And it's not that at all.
Yes.
In any way, shape, or form. And so Frank, not Frank.
Mike.
Mike. Yeah. Mike kills a man for the first time in his life and is fully fucking off the reservation, deer hunter. He's gone. Yes. He thinks he's Neo. He thinks he's John Wick. Any Keanu Reeves character, basically. Johnny Utah. Yeah. He's ready to take on all of it. And it's not even like a smart, now we got a strategy and a gun and we could do this and, we set up an ambush point. It's more like, let's fucking charge them and fuck their fucking skulls.
It is. He gets super aggressive with it, and he gets pissed when Frank literally says, Emilio says, this isn't a fucking game, guy. Mm-hmm. I was cool with let's make a stand. We got one guy coming through. Let's make a stand. We shot him. We got time. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
The ladder's literally right here out of the sewer. Let's get the fuck out. And he gets all like chest puffy and he's like, well, I guess I'll go. So they get out. They have, some skirmishes along the way as they get away.
Mhm.
And they finally find this building that they set the alarm off to alert security. Security guards come down, but Fallon gets there because obviously Fallon knows exactly where they ran. So he gets there as well and kills the guards.
Yep.
Fallon gives his open mic performance while Everlast shoots the other guard, and then the guys run away in the building and hide.
But it's full of great puns about supermarkets.
Yes, no,
Perfect.
it's fantastic.
Special tonight on dead meat. Dead meat from our north side butchery. Go.
We have a special in the frozen foods department tonight. Dead meat.
I'm
We
pretty
have
sure
said this
before.
time and time again, and we haven't had to say it in a long time, but I'm good, so I'll do it again.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, guys, getting ready to put in some work. Go to work. Quit playing with your fucking food.
Shop till you drop, right, Frank?
If you had just snuck in there, you killed the guard. You got this other guard who's going to be a fucking panic and thinks he's tied to you guys. You can set this whole situation up where you murk everybody right here, right now. St. Valentine's Day Massacre style. Everybody up against the wall, gone. But no, as Armando said, Starbucks had an open mic night and you decided this was a great place to test your material out.
Absolutely.
Fucking idiots.
Listen, I'm pretty sure before he picked up the little mic to talk on the thing, there was a guy off to the side, and he's like, from the south side of Chicago, please welcome Fallon, everybody. Give a big round of applause for Fallon.
Is it possible this story is true? Yes, it is.
Let me tell you something about smoking. I like smoking, okay? Smoking's fucking fun. It's like the fucking smoke out of the barrel of my gun. I'm a fucking smoke fiend. I love smoke.
I will say this, like, he didn't really have that Denis Leary thing that people wrote into every movie where he gave that really quick fucking staccato monologue that he did in a lot of his movies because people are like, well, that's who he is.
They toned it down. He has a rant here or a rant there.
Yeah, but it's not like a Leary rant.
Yeah, his most Leary rant was when he's drowning his one dude in the sewers.
Yeah.
And he's going off. That was the big Leary rant. The other little thing I noticed they did for the time frame of the movie, this was when Denis Leary was doing all the football playoff commercials for the NFL.
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
So they add a little thing about like
Hobo from Purdue. I hate Purdue. It was the last time they ever won anything anyways.
they throw in a little football joke for Denis Leary real quick.
Yeah.
Because he pulls that shit all the time.
Yep. But Mike here decides to be a hero again. He kills House of Pain, but he also gets shot too. John goes to help Mike. Fallon shoots John in the leg. The three, Frank, John, and Mike, go into a bathroom where Frank hides them because they're injured. They can't run anywhere.
Frank, John, and Mike go into a bathroom.
Only Frank comes out. He's got jit all over his face. What? So Frank then...
What's the name of that bathroom?
Frank goes into the security office. He activates the silent alarm. Frank then goes after Fallon. So he sneaks up on him, jumps on him. They tussle until Frank finally kicks Fallon off the ledge, killing him. And this is what I didn't like. It's what I didn't like about the beginning of the movie. It's what I didn't like about this. Obviously, like you said, in movies like this, you have a lot of cliches and there's a lot of things where you're like, ugh. But he kicks or punches or whatever Denis Leary, and Denis Leary goes into the little railing and it breaks. And he's like, you're not going to let me fall. And he puts out his arm and Frank grabs him to help. This guy has been trying to murder you. And by all accounts, Mike has said it, Ray has said it, John has said it. Frank apparently used to be a psycho gang member back in the day. Like, he was just killing people and fighting people and
He
doing
was
all
in
this
The
shit.
Outsiders, but
But like, they were like, you used to be soda pop. Do you remember? But now everybody has said how much of a badass Emilio's character was back in the day.
mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are. I know people change as they get older and you get families and blah, blah, blah. There's still a little bit of that guy left in you. There's always still a little bit of that person left. This guy's been trying to kill you. Even for like it could have been a pastor that this guy was trying to kill. In this situation, the pastor's like, dude, suck a dick. Just get the fuck out of here. Emilio tries to like save him, and there's this whole like back and forth before he dies, before Fallon dies.
Dude, the things I would be doing to taunt Fallon here. I know you're not going to let me fall. Like, are you fucking dumb? Are you dumb? Like, I'd pee on his fucking leg and shit like he was Drake. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Can't get me? Can't touch me? Here, grab my hand. Here, grab my hand. I would fuck with him nonstop.
I'd be like a verbal Art the Clown. I'd be like, oh no, I'm going to fall. Please help me. Oh. And then just let him fall. And then he dies and it's done.
Yeah.
But I like how the movie
I would say I would let a lot of people fall who haven't tried to kill me. Just people I don't like.
That's
like,
fair.
I could live
That's
without
fair.
you. You could fall. Let alone the guy that's been chasing me all around Chicago all night.
Yeah.
Damn that.
But this movie ends. So you get Frank, who kills Fallon. The police come in. The ambulance come in. They take John and Mike away in the ambulance. The cop gives Frank his wallet back that they found on Fallon, and the movie just ends.
This whole part right here, you want to talk about lazy writing and stupid? From the second the cop puts the gun up against Frank's head, first off, no cop is doing that. They're never one-handed is not going to be a thing because it's too loosey-goosey. Two, being up that close is never going to be a thing. They're going to sit in the door frame and say, police, don't fucking move. And they would announce themselves before they ever came into the whole goddamn department store. Yeah. So that kind of sucked. Two, I hate in the movies where the hero starts running up to all the hey man, you gonna be okay? You gonna be okay? Inside joke for us.
You're a wimp.
Let me run up to the next. Hey baby bro, the fucking inside joke. You got it? Oh, awesome.
I'm too young for this shit.
And then the cop comes, beautiful looking family you got. Why are you going through my wallet, shit dick? What the fuck is the matter with you?
He was like, your wife's super hot.
Yeah, why is everybody trying to fuck my wife, too, throughout this movie? That's all anybody ever talks about. Jeremy Piven wants to fuck her. Yeah. Denis Leary's constantly talking about how he's going to shrape her. And now fucking Dennis O'Hare over here, Hill Street Blues walked up and he's like, hey, man, nice tits on that wife of yours.
It's a good-looking family.
Here's the other thing, too, and this is why this movie wouldn't last but 15 minutes. If I'm Denis Leary, I have Frank's wallet at the beginning of this. I shoot the guy and go, these guys fucking saw everything? No, they ran. The RV's on fire? Cool. It looks like we're going to fucking 1313 Mockingbird Lane and sitting there until these three show up, or at least the one shows up. And then we go in, we tie them all up, and then we make this guy. You're not chasing around Chicago, the south side of Chicago all fucking night. Listen, judging by the bag of bloody money that Fallon got from this dude he shot, he's got more important things to do than chase three upper middle class people through the streets of fucking the south side of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. And he's smart, so he's going to go, I'm going to go here.
You were correct.
I like the visuals. I like the way it's shot. The acting's great. The writing just wasn't great. Wasn't great for me.
It's a great story idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was everything but the writing was fine. I'll be honest with you. Like it was directed fine. Like I didn't see a problem with any kind of weird edits or anything kooky. It was fine. It was just it was a cliched movie that was unfortunately just too much cliche. Like, I'll give you an example. The Long Kiss Goodnight with Samuel L. Jackson and Gina Davis, right?
Yep.
A bit different, but still an action movie, good guys, bad guys. That movie is full of cliches, but it is such a good movie. It is entertaining as fuck. This is just okay. Like, it's a C. It's a C movie. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I'm not signing up anybody to go watch this anymore. Like, back in the day, if somebody was like, what do you think of Judgment? I'd have been like, fucking fantastic. You got to watch that, like, now. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking great. Now, it's okay. I give it a C.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. There's my whole thing, like, there wasn't anything that kept me interested in the characters actually staying alive. At one point in this movie, I'm like, just shoot these guys and let's get done with this.
Yeah,
like,
I thought between Denis Leary, Peter Greene, and Everlast, I'm more interested in the gang. The gang is far more charismatic and interesting than
100%.
any of these white toast suburbanites. I could give a fuck less.
Yep. No,
Do not
absolutely.
care. So, yeah, man. Denis Leary, he's got a lot of good monologues. His best monologue to me is when he's confronted by the gang outside of the housing projects.
Yep.
And he gives him the whole speech about, like, look, I get it. You know, if I fuck with you right now, I ruin your rep. So you got to show out a little bit. What's it going to cost? Like, let's cut. That's the only time he does anything that makes sense and cuts right through the shit. Like, let's cut through this. Let me give you the money. And the kid's like, oh, I'll take your money. He's like, no, you can't take my money. But you can take my money.
You can't take my money. But you can take my money.
Yeah.
Now, that part of well-written line, well-delivered, every part of that was awesome. That's my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. You can't take my money, but you can. Oh, such a good line.
Dude, I would love to say that to somebody one time. Holy fucking shit.
The only problem with that is I'm too big of a pussy to say that to anybody.
Oh, I'd be like,
and have somebody go, okay.
Somebody be like, yo, man, if I want your money, I'll take your money. Be like, okay, I believe you would. Here, I'm going to set it down and I'm backing up slowly. You win. That's what real life Corey would do.
Yes, 100%.
Movie Corey would this is what I would do. 100%.
Absolutely. But no, that's all I got, man. You got anything else for this one?
No. I almost feel let down. To be honest with you. Like,
I'm sorry I didn't bring my A game.
Yeah, me too. Not only am I judging this movie tonight, I'm judging you. Yeah, I did the thing.
You
said it.
You said the thing.
I said it. And I was all cute when I said it. Yeah. No, this movie's a hard C. It's just like there's not even a lot to really make fun of with it. It's just a movie.
Yeah. No, we said at the beginning.
Wonder Bread.
Like we said at the beginning. It's a movie.
Yep.
It's a movie. This is to your point you've said this before a bunch. As you're cleaning your house, this is a movie you can have on in the background and you're not going to really miss anything if you like walk out of the room or go do, you know what I mean? So
I knew you fucking listened to me when I spoke.
Every now and again. Don't tell anybody though.
You love me. You love me.
For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews. And this was 1993's Judgment Night, requested by Brea on Patreon.
And now we're judging you, bruh.